And greetings, my dear friends, and welcome back. And it's time to talk about one of the most irrelevant events of CSGO history, I guess. Um, EM Dallas. Mm, how many teams are actually going to keep their lineups after this event? Let's try to guess. Heroic, most likely. 9Z irrelevant. Fnatic, don't think so. Mouse, don't think so. Fury already said that they're gonna change. OG, uh, almost everyone is going. G2, there's a high possibility that Hooks is gonna leave. Um Nouns, irrelevant team. Now the lower bracket phase. There are rumors that apparently Kerrigan still questioning his ability to play. Conversations regarding Brokey and Twist. Even Rain is under the question. EG, well, we all know that's irrelevant and changes are incoming 100%. Hence, potentially, mm, maybe one of the teams that actually going to stick with the lineup. But on the other side, Ants is probably great opportunity for Boris to join kind of like the top dogs, but who's going to replace him? I have no idea. So complexity, well, I don't think that these guys are doing their job properly. Liquid, well, the announcement came in that Nitro is leaving. So Astralis, uh, who is gonna add some strength to them? Mm, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they still try to get the crowd players in. Maybe it's gonna work, but like Buzz is doing pretty well. Altex still like a lot of questions regarding him. Um, Cloud9, uh, I'm 100% sure that there will be changes. Greyhound, well, there's no enough talent to kind of improve these guys, so they're probably gonna stick. And yeah, let's start with the Group A opening matches, best of ones. Um, what we can expect from Heroic and 9Z. Mm, in terms of map pool, we see that Mirage is on the books, Nuke, and Ancient. Uh, the best option for Heroic is probably try to practice Anubis because, well, nobody really cares about this event, so it probably would be a great opportunity to try Anubis, especially with the 0% win rate on 9Z. But let's be honest, it doesn't look like they're gonna do it. So the mob veto probably gonna be like Vertigo banned from 9Z, then probably gonna be Anubis removed. Then it looks like Ancient gonna stick to the end, and most likely they're gonna play Ancient. However, it's not the best option for 9Z. If they're gonna end up on Ancient, have bad news for 9Z. So this one is 70%, 75 that Hero are gonna win. So I'm taking Heroic to advance here. If nothing against Mouse, this is the interesting one with the Forest standing in. And what can we expect from this game? Um, is Forest gonna play roles of Crims, or is it gonna be like the wild card and just gonna go and try to do whatever he wants, and the rest of the team gonna play with some of the protocols? On the other side, we have Mouse that kind of screwed up the major, and well, can we expect changes over here? Most certainly, yes. Dexter is the first one to go, and if Mouse aren't stupid, and they haven't shown that they are stupid, they're probably gonna try to get Shuhi back. And in terms of JDC, well, JDC, Tolzig, Sheraton, well, they all know what they're gonna do, right? And if that's gonna be a lineup with Frozen for CS2, that's a scary hell lineup, right? And potentially that's gonna be a title contender for the first major win, if that lineup gonna stick to like the first major for CS2. Um, Now, in terms of this game, Mm, let's try and look at the match, the match page with the map pool. Load up. So the map percentage Inferno, but Fnatic's not gonna play Inferno, and it looks like again, right? Uh, Seems like Ancient is gonna be the map because Maus are pretty bad on every other map. Like unless they want to try and gamble on Nuke, but again, doesn't look like it's a great idea, right? So for me, still on this one, even with Forest standing in, um, individual firepower of Mezi, Roge, and Fasher is higher than Frozen, Searchin, and Torzi, right? And Forest is like the X factor. He's just gonna play on experience, and well, it's kind of hard to trick him, right? Mm, but if we're being realistic, then Mouse should be taking this one. But again, like with all this, it's 55-45 for Mouse. But yeah, if I was gambling, I'd I'd try my chance with Fnatic because well, the odds probably gonna be pretty good, and it's gonna be best of one. If it was best of three, then sure it's gonna be Mouse winning this one. Now Fury against OG, right? Um, Fury against OG. This is going to be interesting, right? Because we all know that Furia, well, certainly are making changes, and they're just waiting for the time to come. This is probably the last event, which they're gonna attend with this lineup. And for OG, it's kind of great chance to show what they're worth, right? And Rigali, probably first tier one tournament where he can actually show himself. Flames, because his contract is expiring, right? Nico, he's he already proved that he can IGL, right? And he can be an IGL of a team that's actually reaching the major. Neofrag and Fiku, well, for these two, it's underwhelming story every single time, right? Like Neofrag, he has a good fragging potential. Fiku has a good fragging potential, but they both are playing roles where, well, they kind of if the round goes wrong, then they kind of stick in situations where it's like 2v4, 2v5, and like it's almost impossible to like do anything on a consistent basis with it. Um, what I expect from this map is, well, there's no point to look at the map pool because most likely they're gonna try and play maps that gonna benefit Regali, right? Probably something like Mirage. And actually, let's still have a look. Mm, let's still have a look again. Okay, Mirage and Ancient. Yes, it's a map for Regali. Uh, Vertigo. I don't think so. So for me, there are like two maps that potentially can be played over here. It's Vertigo, no chance. Ancient, yes, and Mirage, yes. Right. Every other map is a big no-no for OG, right? Um, Most likely it's gonna be Mirage because like Furia doesn't mind to play Mirage as well, right? So, and again, I think this is gonna be great exposure for OG, and because Furia is in that team stage, most likely OG gonna win this one. Now G2 against Nouns, right? Uh, no matter what's happening, this should be just like easy work for G2. Even Hooksy probably gonna get a positive rating, right? Uh, am I expecting a 16-0? No. Am I expecting like 16-5, 16-6? Yes. Like, and that's it. Now G2 against OG. Again, like, uh, is this gonna be best of one? Okay. This is probably gonna be up of semifinal. Probably again like best of one. Yeah, because it doesn't say anything over here. And the final is best of three. So, so yeah. Again, in best of ones, OG has a chance. Fury has no chance. And again, like still, G2 should be beating both of them. Uh, on this side, Heroic against Mouse. Uh, Heroic, they don't really screw up these type of stages, right? They always are consistent. Like they did have a slip once in a while, but Heroic are just too good of a team right now, and they only stress in like a semi-final and a final rounds, which obviously is not this type of semi-final final round, right? So these stages don't mean much for them. And for me, upper final should be Heroic versus G2. It's gonna be best of three, and mm, theoretically, Heroic should be taking this one, but uh, if we don't have confirmation of Hoxie leaving, then G2 have a really good chance of winning this one. And G2 gamble might be actually worth here. But on the other side, it's probably going to be Heroic that's going to be taking this one. Like it's a like a double chance for me, but yeah, I gonna I gonna prefer to go with G2 because I think Monacy really wants to kind of show that he's great, right? And the major was a fluke, right? So, and I believe that G2 will give him more freedom and he will be able to do more stuff that he wants, right? Hunter and JKS, they graded their roles, but if Hooksy is inting, then, well, 4v5, it's hard to play always. So, in my book, I'm gonna go with G2 winning the Group A. Now, let's talk about Group B, right? Phase against EG. Well, is there anyone that believes that EG can do something against FaZe over here? When EG actually losing like to random matchmaking mixes from NA, no chance. Like a Wiz is just ah, automatic. Paycheck Stealer, Breeze, Paycheck Stealer, Neelan. When Neelan is your best player for months, and he's an IGL and he has the highest rating, like in or like 3 months, or like this doesn't really display like reality, right? Like every time you kind of like look at the match, you see Neelan top fragging, right? Like his top fragging might not be like 30 to 12, but he's gonna be like 20 to 19, where every other player is gonna be like 5, 10 kills, right? And then there will be games where automatic will be like 30 to 12, and at the end of the day, his rating, like average rating, gonna be like 1.19. When Neelan is gonna be like on his average 20 kills, like, and he's not gonna do much other than that. Um, so yeah, for me, FaZe obviously gonna take this one. Can we see an upset? Yes, we can, but I don't think so. Ends against complexity. Um, Ents is one of those teams, like one of those dark horses that potentially can win the whole event because Nerds integrated great. Diha is showing that slowly but surely he's becoming that firepower that we all expected. Sun Bias, um, still underwhelming. Maiden just does his job great, and Snappy on Vertigo, they are amazing, right? Any other map, I have a lot of questions to them. So against complexity, I think N's just gonna destroy them, to be honest. I'm not expecting like 16-0, but like maybe like 16-2, 16-3. Now, Liquid against Astralis. This is the interesting one. Nitro's last event, and Astralis coming in with like a lot of expectations. Device and BlameF actually trying their best. They're grinding online, they're grinding a lot. So technically, Astralis can upset the whole event as well, right? So if I'm picking like four teams that will be competing for the title, it's Heroic, it's G2, uh, FaZe, yes, but again, it's kind of weird scenario of FaZe playing this event, and actually, yeah, I'll add FaZe there, and Astralis. Regarding Cloud9, uh, I don't know why I have this feeling that Cloud9 probably gonna try Shiro as IGL at this event. I'm not sure why I have this feeling, but there were conversations that Shiro probably gonna turn into IGL at certain point, and I believe at this event it actually can be beneficial to whole team and especially to Nafani to get some pressure off his shoulders and just let him play CS. Because like if we talk about Nafani as a pure pure entry fragger, uh, he's really good, right? The only problem is that he has to entry frag and IGL, and there's only one player that does that the best right now, and it's Marek, right? Yekenda is like the best, but it's only because he's been entry fragging for all his career, and now he's making the shift to an IGL, right? When on Nafani, it was the other way around. He was IGLing for the whole time, and he had to like go first and then just like navigate his team, right? So if I was the coach of Cloud9 or assistant or whatever, uh, I would try, especially in a game against an opponent like Greyhound, I would actually try Shiro as an IGL, right? Because let's be honest, this year I think the conversation of the best player of the year of 2023 is over. At this point, it's 99% is going to be Zaiwu. Um, in terms of like top two, well, most likely it's going to be Shiro, right? But does he really need that top two, or he rather wins like a couple of events and makes the shift? Who knows? Like it's all depends on him, right? What he wants to do. He wants to win trophies, or he wants to be that carry player, and that's it. Uh, so yeah, in my books, this is gonna be kind of rematch, and I think Cloud9 gonna demolish Greyhound. I I certainly think that mm, there's gonna be a revenge for that major game that happened a couple of majors back when Greyhound upset Cloud9. And yeah, with this said, um, now let's move to the semifinals. FaZe against ENCE. And we've seen a couple of recent games, FaZe versus ENCE. And ENCE kind of went on top like majority of the time, unfortunately, for FaZe. And this time, I think there will be no difference, right? I think ENCE gonna advance to the upper final. For a FaZe fan, it sounds horrible. As a FaZe fan, I acknowledge that, yeah, my team is not in the best shape right now. However, there's a lower bracket and anything can happen over there. So yeah, if you didn't understand my point on Liquid against Astralis, I think that Astralis is going to take this one. So Astralis is going to move on and play Cloud9, and this will be really interesting. And mm, this time, if we just look at the firepower, Device, Blame F versus Axel and Shiro. Right now, probably Device and Blame F are kinda, I know, in the front seat because they grinded a lot of a tier two, like all these CCT events or whatever, and they are in a better shape right now, right? And I think that Cloud9 gonna drop in the lower bracket, so Astral is gonna advance and probably gonna play ENCE, right? And if we're considering Astralis versus ENCE matchup, um, then right now ENCE are probably slightly in the front, only because they they have a deep strat book. However, it's gonna be best of three, and you know if Blamef actually shows up and just plays his best, then he can solo carry Astralis, right? It's not gonna be the first time. Also, Altex with his 1.14 rating is a big mystery. What can we expect from him? But Buzz is playing pretty decent, and yeah. With all this said, ENCE versus Astralis upper final, and yeah, what's next? Who knows? Who's gonna win? It's gonna be 50-50, right? But for me, it looks like ENCE probably gonna be winning this one. So, in terms of players that I want on my team. I would love to have some base players, but again, like Hobbit 216, Axel 225, Shiro 238 is way too much. On the other side, there's Monacy for 230, which is again a lot, but I'm expecting him to farm here. Probably they're gonna be playing Pug Up, then against OG they're gonna be playing Pug Up, and best of three against Heroic. It's a great opportunity for him to actually show what he's worth. On the other side, there's a Hooksy, which I don't want to even consider. Um, then who can I pick up as a filler player, right? Uh, mm, Snappy, but who can I pair up with the Snappy? Maiden, not a big fan of picking Maiden. Nerds, uh, in a game versus, let's say, complexity, can Nerds be the X factor? Um, Maybe. Can Sanpayas be the X factor? Can Sanpayas just destroy everyone over there? Yes, it can. Can D-Hub be the X factor? Yes. But if we're looking on overall, who's gonna perform the best, like on all three games, and then probably it's gonna be Sampayas, and I'll have to go for the double IGL, right? And I'm cutting my budget slightly off, like uh, saving some money over here. So I'll have to get two more players over here, right? So most likely I will have to go with the player from this side of the bracket, and then one more player from this side of the bracket. So let me see and try to guess who's going to be the best option. If I try Shush, then I will have 174 left, which leaves me with Kerrigan and unfortunately Hooksy, Dexter, and I'm not happy of seeing any of those players. So double IGLing unfortunately sucks, but if I pick Hooksy over here, then I'm with 391 and nothing really changes. And if I try and actually get Cloud9 in, and Cloud9 plays Buster, that's probably the only option. Then I have 205 left. That's just enough for Shush. And is that enough for me? I don't know. Is it a good idea to actually go for double IGL and pick Snappy over here? Monacy, Sunpias, Hoaxy, Snappy, and 210k left, which potentially can give me a player like Rain, Elige, Altex. I don't know. Like, when was the last time when you had 210k and you had no player to pick from, right? Just ridiculous. But on the other side, there is an option to pick Adian, Tessus. Uh, is it going to be a great idea of triple IGL and triple snipers? Who knows? But I think it's worth a gamble. All right, so now Monacy obviously going to be my. Actually, I'm gonna use Monacy as a multi-frag, Sunpias as a sniper, Snappy. Uh, did I use him as an entry? Defender, headshot, support. Probably support is the best option. Cadian, not the best entry. Uh, mm, Foxy as a leader in this bracket is probably the best option. So, mm, Cadian's role, let's try defender, right? CT side is great, so Snappy on the support, Foxy on the leader, and yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. Uh, so now just let's see in details and see if it's gonna be all the way. Oh yeah, it's gonna be all the way. And with this being all the way, is it going to be G2 or ENS is going to take the whole event? Who knows? But there's a really good chance for ENS to actually win something, right? And Snappy lifting a trophy, well, why not? It's uh, it's probably time when he has to win something, right? He played with this team for some time. They have a deep strat book. They in good form, and there is an option for Sampayas to actually get an MVP, right? Or for Monacy to get his MVP. That's also a chance, right? Um, or maybe there's gonna be Cadian that's gonna win like the one of the most irrelevant events. So now let's talk about boosters, right? Um, in best of one, I don't know, versus nouns, most likely he's still gonna be like the ball on the table, but there is no real point of picking any of these. So let's just use this and KDN with the flashbangs versus 9Z. Yeah, he's probably gonna set up his team with a lot of flashbangs anyway. Uh, do I want to do any other maps or anything? I don't think so. But Bait, Hooksy, he's gonna go first 100% and he's gonna get traded no matter what. Right, so any other ones I don't want to use right now and I'm gonna use them later. But anyway, this is what I think. This is how my team looks. And yeah, good luck, have fun, and let me know what you all think.